Good morning, artists. Just a quick recap of what you need today. You need a piece of drawing paper or your sketchbook. That's A4 in size. You'll need a pencil. These are all perfectly fine. We have a little pencil here, which is good for planning out. If you've got one, you've got an HB pencil, also great for planning out. It's a little bit lighter. And will help you with your light tones. And I've got a 2B pencil here, which is a great all-rounder, but will also be good for my darker tones. You need a pencil sharpener as well, and a rubber, or ideally a nice chunky rubber. Then the other things that you'll need, some fabric. If you don't have fabric, this is a pillowcase, like that. You could use a t-shirt. If you don't have any of those, keep it simple, use a tissue. If you don't have that, what do you blow your nose on? If you don't have that, piece of white paper, thin printer paper would be ideal as well. Okay, next thing you need to consider, where you locate yourself. Natural light is great, spotlight would also work. Just make sure it's not a strong beam of light. The other thing to do is don't sit round this way. If you sit round this way with the light right in front of you, it's all going to end up very, very dark. So put yourself ideally to the side so you get that nice sense of the light coming across. Then the setup. Grab your piece of fabric, however you like. Position it, fold it. You could twist it. You can do whatever. You don't need to draw the whole thing. Think about, a section that you want to draw. Get your lighting right. Move it around. See what you like. In one of the demo videos, they do a kind of tighten a knot thing. That seems a little bit excessive, but you could obviously try something like that if you wanted to. See if that gives you a nice shape, gives you a bit more form. If you haven't got a piece of that, t-shirt's going to work fine. Just avoid things like your tags coming through and some of your seams. All of these things will work a bit better as well if they've been ironed first. You'll get a slightly nicer effect on them. Tissue again, it's going to work really well. Just needs to be white, simple, no patterns. Scrunch it up. Piece of paper. Here we go. Get a lovely, more angular drawing. And again, you could just draw a section, you could draw the whole thing. Then when you come to do your drawing, sit yourself down, start your clock, get drawing. Remember, really key thing, use your tonal scale, okay? Your tonal scale might be 5 blocks, might be more. First one, white. Always leave a bit of white space. Next one, bit lighter, bit darker, bit darker, bit darker. That's a bit grainy at the moment. If I go backwards and forwards over it quite lightly, I'll start to create a more even, smoother tone. I'm struggling to get my lightest tones. At the moment I'm using my 2B pencil. Switch down to an HB. Use the side of it. Use the side of it. Okay, do this as a little practice first, really good to get into the habit of. Now what it shows me is this one can go darker. Much darker than I initially put it down as. Okay, that allows me to go a bit darker here and create my little tonal scale there. Then I'm going to start usual way. This is nearly impossible to do from here, but you'd mark out your line drawings, and so on. Get your shapes in, and then you can go in with your tone. Things to do to pick out the tone a little bit more. Squint your eyes. It helps exaggerate the light and dark. Target where all your very darkest areas are. These sort of things, okay? So that you know that in advance, you're allocating that to it, so you know the other areas have to be a little bit lighter. Okay, you stop when your time runs out, not when you finish the drawing, okay? If you finish the drawing in less than the 70 minutes, I would suggest you need to go back in, look for more detail, work back over some of the shading to create a little bit more blending. If you've only got a section of it done within the time, submit that section, okay? Keep an eye on the clock though. Try to manage your time effectively. There's no point us having a drawing that's so big because you just got obsessed with doing this one little area and didn't show time management, okay? But if you've managed something like this big, but you haven't finished all the rest and you've got it planned out in line, absolutely fine. Okay, good luck.